everyone, welcome to my channel and thank you for watching today. I'm sure that you are probably new here because I am still new here. So allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mariah and I just recently started YouTube last week and I am obsessed with it, so I'm going to be uploading at least 2 videos every week for the rest of however long it is that we decide to do this. But that means that you guys should go and click below and subscribe so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Today I'm going to be talking about wedding planning tips and tricks and my wedding planning experience. I'm going to be starting a wedding series because I am just 10 months away from getting married. And so I've got a ton of time and I really just want to take you guys through the wedding planning process with me. Can you see the people on YouTube? I can see them. You want to introduce yourself? You not want to? Well, although he's camera shy, this is my son and his name is Zeus. He is 2 years old, and he's a lab. Come on. You gonna sit with Mama? He weighs about 75 pounds, and he thinks he's a lap dog. We don't have the heart to tell him that he's not. When deciding that I was gonna do a wedding series, the first thing that I felt really should be the start of it was my wedding planning bag and just a few wedding planning tips that I've had so far. So before I get into the actual planning and tips and stuff, let me tell you just a little bit about myself. I am engaged to a man named Sam. Now, we dated for like a year and I want to say it was like 10 months before we got engaged. We got engaged on December 3rd, 2016, and we were getting married May 26th, 2018. So that gives us kind of a long engagement. I know that so many people like rush into their weddings. That's just not something that we wanted to do. Of course, not something I wanted to do. You are a bride for as long as you're engaged, not just on your wedding day. You are a bride the entire engagement process. And I kind of wanted to be a bride just for a little while, just a little while. So we decided on May 26th, 2018 together. Now, I was heading into the second semester of my senior year of college right when we got engaged. And so I was like very distracted with a lot that was going on, but I didn't put off the wedding planning process because I started planning on January 1st. We went and found our venue. And while we were so excited about that, I immediately was like, okay, well maybe I should just contact my caterer. And our caterer has 5 spots that they do a day for catering, and 3 of those spots were filled. And I was like, okay, well maybe I should go ahead and contact the photographer. Obviously a photographer only does 1 wedding a day. Went ahead and booked her, and so it just turned into an entire wedding planning process, and in 4 months I got every single vendor that I'm going to use at my wedding booked. When I found the vendors that I wanted, I booked them. If they were in my price range and I liked them and they had a good reputation, I went with it. It can be very overwhelming, and that you can get just like a ton of people and all these different opinions and all these people telling you who they like and who you should use and what would be best for them, what would be great in your area. And when I knew where I was getting married and what time, I immediately was like, yes, if you're in my price range, I like you, have a good reputation, you're booked, that's it. And so it ended up being a very smooth process that I got done in just 4 short months. A bit more information about my actual wedding before I get into the actual tips and what's in my wedding planning bag. Just so you know, I am having a formal wedding at 5 p.m. It is at a like Southern plantation style home. Very formal, very modern. And that's just something that, can you stop eating the flowers? That's just something that was important to both Sam and I. Zuzu, you gotta get out, baby. Mommy's trying to film. All about my ring. This is something that I get so many questions about when people find out that I'm engaged. This is not a diamond. It is a morganite. It is a 2.7 carat morganite cushion cut stone on a solitaire setting. It's rose gold shank setting. I don't know. There's like this whole long title that talks about this ring, but it is not a diamond, it is a morganite. So many people will look at this and they'll be like, but it's pink. I'm like, yeah, it is, girl. It's pink, and I love it. It is the most perfect ring I have ever seen in my entire life. And what makes me so sad is sometimes I'll take a picture and it photographs and looks like a diamond, and I'm like, no, I like that it's pink. But it is the most gorgeous ring ever. I really, really hope that if you guys are considering morganites, you don't back down on it because it's not a diamond. I promise it is just as amazing as any diamond ring, and this ring is exactly what I wanted. So in this bag, I decided that I wanted a bag to carry all of my, can you see it says totes engaged? It's so heavy. I decided that I wanted a bag to carry all my wedding planning crap around in, but I got this totes engaged bag a few months ago at David's Bridal, which is also where I got this super cute, I don't know if you can see it, bride tank top. But yeah, I think it was like $12 or something. Got it at David's Bridal, and it is adorable. It's canvas material, and I love it. So in the bag, first I have my Erin Condren address book. Like I mentioned, I was in the second semester of my senior year, right around the time I got engaged. So I knew I was going to have to be sending out graduation announcements and invitations. And so I was like, you know what? We're going to go ahead and get this, and we'll use it for the wedding too, which is why I got my new last name on it. My new last name will be Robinson. I literally use this all the time, more than I think I even keep vendors like phone numbers and names in here. It's just been a very useful resource. The next thing in here is the Knot Book of Wedding Lists, the ultimate guide to the perfect day down to the smallest detail. And that is so true. If you get on Pinterest, you see about 1,001 lists of all kinds of crap that you need for your wedding, and when you're doing this, when you're doing that. This is the most amazing book ever. When you open it up, you come into, and it has 17 chapters total, and it breaks down everything: the menu, the guest list, the reception, the invitations, the flowers, the cake, the entertainment, everything. So go to page 134, and this is the gown. So basically what I do is I'll just go through each little list, and it talks about what you need to do as far as where your location is, what style you're looking for, what flatters your body type. And I go through and I pick out just my favorite points and I write them all down. So like I kind of knew what style wedding dress I wanted, what I was going to go for. And so I went through here, found the important things that I would probably have to tell people when it came to picking out my wedding dress. And so I just went through, looked at all of this, wrote it all down. Things that matter when it comes to picking out your wedding dress, so you're very informed when you go into it. And that is just what I found, is that this book is so informative. It is $12.99, and I believe I got this off of maybe Amazon or Hobby Lobby, but I will link it below. This is the best book ever for brides. Next, I keep my favorite magazine in here. This is the Charleston Weddings in spring 2017, and it just has so much inspiration in it. Like, oh my god, wait, go back. Look at this. Look at all the pretty rings. Oh, I love it. So I just carry this around and I use it kind of as inspiration. If someone asks me what I'm looking for and I know that I've seen it in here, I'll just open the book and say this is kind of what I'm looking for. I do update the magazines in here frequently, but I only carry around one magazine at a time because magazines are heavy, and this book's heavy enough because I'm a control freak. This is awesome. I got this at Target. It is just like a little, I want to say, pleather folder, and you just open it up, and I keep all of my contracts inside of it. It's so cute. It's a really good material. I think it was like $7 or $8. And I just keep all my contracts in here. I carry this with me everywhere I go because it's so important that you have these. I cannot tell you how many times I have been at a wedding planning meeting and they would ask something about the venue or my cake, and I was able to just pull out my contract and run through the rules. That's just very important. I think it's also something that I, like a peace of mind, really need. I always have to have my contracts with me and ready to go. Next, I have my 2017 planner. So I told you that I got engaged in the end of 2016 and we're getting married in 2018. So like I said, control freak, love planners. I have everything written down in one planner that I use on the daily basis, but this is just devoted to weddings. I keep everything in here. Also got from Target, if I didn't already mention that. Okay, so this is July, and you can see, I don't know if you can really see it, but basically there's just a month overview, and then it gets into monthly notes. This month, goals you need to work on, and so I just use that as, okay, in July, these are the things I need to get done. This is what I have to do, and then I'll cross these off of here when I have them done, so I'll list them off, and it does have individual days. And last but not least, the holy grail of wedding planning books. This is the Mindy The Wedding Planner and Organizer by Mindy. I'm gonna say Wise, but I could totally be that wrong. It's cute. It's just got little polka dots and it says Our Wedding on the side. And you open it up and I am going to show you everything in this book. It is such an incredible book. My mother is an Amazon freak. She loves Amazon and she's all about the reviews on Amazon. And so when she went on and was going to get me a wedding planning book, she noticed that it got way better reviews than the Knot. I had actually looked at purchasing the Knot wedding planning book by myself, like the binder that's just like this. And I have to say, after looking at that and looking at this is much more worth your money. I will link it from Amazon. You need it. I've told tons of my bride friends about it. It's the most amazing, thorough book. And it makes things like not difficult. So it breaks it down and makes it as easy as possible. It has a few sections in it and I will just go through all of them with you now. With the big picture, and it just kind of mentions your wedding contacts and all the people. And so basically that's really awesome because you can give it to, I guess, your day of planner and you just say, these are everybody. So if my day of planner needs to call my caterer, their name, their address, their phone number, their email, and everything will be in there and they can just use it. Like example. It talks about the budget and it gives you, let me see if I have a page that's not, okay. So, here it is. I don't know if you guys can really see it, but hopefully you can. Basically, it just has the item. It has a little bow tie by what the groom's family is expected to pay for, estimated cost, actual cost, deposit, and notes. And then it does have something about tipping. It breaks everything down in this book also between destination weddings and regular weddings, just because those are two totally different things. So then you get to location and it talks about whether the like pros and cons of hotels, restaurants, outdoors, home, destination, and like a one-stop shop venue. It just basically tells you all of the good and the bad. I wish I could show you guys this, but I've actually written in it. And like, so I didn't pick Larkin Sawmill, so we'll go ahead and show you, tell you that. Larkin Sawmill was one of the places that we looked at having our wedding. Really wasn't impressed with it. It just didn't have what we were going for. And basically you just go through and it has all these questions that you ask the venue and the people that are showing it to you. Things that are included. Is there enough accessible bathrooms for guests, or do I need to bring portable facilities? Is there a fee for the space? Any restrictions or limitations in interfaith marriages? Things like that. There's also a separate section for the reception. Then it breaks down the guests and invitation. One thing I haven't showed you so far is it's got names. Each section has a folder in the front of it. So what I'll just do is any information or thing that vendors give me, I just put it in that little folder. So like that had a ton of the stuff from registering. Sorry, I have hiccups. It breaks down the roles for honored guests and it talks about invitation. It shows you how to word your invitations. Y'all, that is so important. I cannot tell you how important it is to right now understand that you cannot offend somebody on the wording of your invitation a year from now. Industry rundown. It has the item that you need, the description, the store, and then if you've gotten it or not. I really used this when I was registering. When it came to registering, this book is a little heavy to carry around, but it's pretty awesome. It's very thorough. And then it gets on to the dress. I went into this dress shop to look for my mom's dress. I did not go in with the intentions of buying my wedding dress. And right before she was just like, do you want to just, here's a book and look at some of what we got? And I was like, okay, sure. And then it turned into trying on wedding dresses. And then it turned into finding my dream dress. So I really didn't use this before I went wedding dress shopping. I kind of wish I would have. But what I do love about this also is it has a place for your bridesmaids. You can put their measurements, their name, what role they play in your wedding. So it has the same thing for the tuxedos. There is a section for the menu and the flowers. Same exact thing as always. It just goes through the questions that you could ask those vendors. Music, photography, and videography. Talks about rental companies, making it official as far as like your officiant and your honeymoon and all the legal documentation. It also has this really cute folder in the back that you can get, you can put all your like stuff in that vendors give you. So I did that, and I also put like 2 little sheets for business cards. That is it. I think I'm going to be writing a full review on this with pictures up on my blog sometime this week. I really, really love this book. It's very important. It covers literally everything about your wedding, and it's pretty awesome, and I hope you guys love this. I hope you guys purchase this. You really, really should. It is so worth it. I don't even think it's that expensive, but if it is, I'm telling you, it's worth the money. So there are also 2 apps that I want to tell you that I absolutely cannot live without when it comes to wedding planning. They are the Not Guestbook app and the Not like regular wedding planning app. I'm not going to show you the Guestbook app because it is just like it's exactly like it sounds. It's just a guestbook app. You can totally put in all of the information of all your guests, their first and last name, whether or not they're coming to the wedding, what you would like them to come to, whether it's the rehearsal dinner, the wedding shower, and all that stuff. There is a photo of you and your fiance. That is me and mine. And then it has your name, your wedding date, and then how many days you have till you go. It shows the checklist, which is super awesome and very, very detailed. It shows everything that you have to do for the wedding and what months you have to do them in, and I absolutely love that about it. You can flip over to the budgeter, but I don't use that on this app. Yeah, it's just very thorough. I think online you can also get on there and it'll show you the percentage of wedding planning you have done, and I think I have like 62%. You can flip over and look at the guest list. You can look at the guest list if it loads. But basically it just shows you again like wedding rehearsal, wedding shower, and all the things like that you want those people to be included in. And then last but not least, there is a vendors section where you can go through and just search all of the vendors that you want, like DJs, bed and breakfast, calligraphers, ceremony accessories. So I just find that app extremely helpful. So just a few wedding planning like tips and tricks. Something that I think a lot of people stress about is a budget. Now in South Carolina, we do church, our hair, and weddings really, really big. So a lot of people worry about spending a ton of money on their wedding, and that is true. It is just one day. Something that I found, and that my father actually made a really good point about when it comes to wedding planning, is if you give yourself a budget of 30 grand and you know, you're sitting here and you're like counting the pennies up to 30 grand, you're just really gonna stress yourself out. I found it so much more easier to just sit down and say, okay, this is my budget for my photographer. This is my budget for my food. This is the budget for the venue. And so when I was looking, that was kind of what I was looking at, was the price range of the venue. And you're just definitely more focused on how much money you want to spend on each thing. And then I kind of found that it was a lot easier to just figure out the whole money aspect of weddings. Above all, my biggest tip to you is just to have fun with your wedding planning. I think that it can be so stressful. Stress yourself out. Don't let yourself get worked up over tiny things, because I promise they don't matter. In the long run, you're getting married, you're becoming one with a significant other that you absolutely love, and that is all that really matters. And just remember that, okay? I hope that you guys love this wedding planning tips and tricks and what's in my baggage, I don't really know what we're gonna call it, video yet. It's something that I really love. Of course, I could ramble on all day long about my wedding. It's something that I'm going to start a series on because I have 10 months to my wedding, and although I feel like I have a lot done, I know that there's still a lot to go. I hope you guys really enjoyed. I hope it's helpful. I hope you subscribe so I can see you in my next video, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.